Hello and welcome to my tutorial on how to paint gray. I'm painting a gray knight. This is non-metallic. This is my non-metallic gray knight masterclass. I call it Jawa Gray. I've done the non-metallic already on a few other videos, but I want to take the time to really devote a full video to it in a full model sense. So I have this gray knight model ready to go. What I've done is actually primed this model using Army Painter Uniform Gray. It's a nice neutral gray, the same color as Codex Gray in GW paints. And it creates a nice gray base. And on top of this, I'm going to use Asterman Blue Wash. You can also use the new GW wash. I'm not sure what it's called. It doesn't really matter. Just use the blue wash. Other guys make washes as well, like a Secret Weapon. So a blue wash, and I'm going to apply a liberal wash to this model. This cool blue will create the cold steel look that we're trying to achieve. We're going to apply several washes of blue to this model. Try and get it off of the major armor parts and let it build up in the recessed areas. Definitely all the little detail lines. It's rare that I go ahead and assemble the entire model. Uh, I did assemble all of my Grey Knights. I have a whole army of them. And I wish I didn't. I was in a hurry for some reason, and I just kind of did it. And I regret that. But that is what I have to work with now. I'm going to go ahead and do the gun too, because it's all going to be the same color. Jawa Gray. I feel kind of bad for the Grey Knights. They got kind of the short end of the stick. They got a really nice codex. They're really powerful, and they earn a lot of hate for being so powerful. And now everybody hates them. So like, I don't even really want to play a Grey Knight army because I don't want to deal with the backlash of playing the Grey Knight army. I think my phone just beeped. Let's see. No, just hearing things. So be fairly careful about where you're getting this the wash to settle. You don't want it to pool up on flat areas. So spend some time with your brush to go around and make sure that it's not collecting too much. You don't want it to puddle. The newer GW washes, I haven't gotten the blue yet, are very good at not puddling. This first draft, I call it GW Wash 1.0, was a good try. I liked it better than their inks, but they left a lot to be desired. All right, well, the wash is done. Let me come back in a few minutes. For this color, what you're going to need... Let me do a video first for paints. Pause, be right back. So welcome to my Grey Knight tutorial. This is the second time I'm welcoming you for this set because I already started, but then I realized I did not do a painting, the required paint for this project. So what are you going to need for this project? Well, you're going to need some Army Painter Uniform Gray Spray Prime. That's what I use to spray prime the models. Army Painter Uniform Gray. Also, you're going to need a series of gray colors. I use Codex Gray, which is the older GW Gray, And I also use Fortress Gray, which is the older GW Gray. You can use these colors if you. I'm sure you can still find them. I've got like five pots of Fortress Gray, or you can use the new colors, the new GW colors, which are. Let me pause. Come right back. All right, so I realized that I forgot to start with showing you guys the paints you're going to need for this video set. So let's get started on that. You're going to need a series of grays for this. First, you're going to need Army Painter Uniform Gray Spray Prime. I've already spray primed and washed this model with it. Here's another model that has been spray primed with Army Painter Uniform Gray. It's just a neutral gray color, but it's a great one for this project. So Army Painter Uniform Gray. Also, you'll need, you don't even need black prime, just spray gray prime on top of the model. You're going to need a series of gray paints. I've got Codex Gray, which is, excuse me for 1 second, Dawn Stone Gray. Dawn Stone. I've got Fortress Gray, which is the new color is Administratum Gray. And I use Adeptus Battle Gray, which is also a new color. Mechanicus Standard Gray. Sorry about that. I keep having to find the translations. So Mechanicus Standard Gray, Dawnstone Gray, Administratum Gray. You'll need the 3 of these. Not so much of the dark gray, because we're not really gonna use a whole lot of it, but definitely gonna use, because I kind of skipped that. I kind of skipped the. I used to use the battle gray, but in priming the whole model with gray already, I didn't need to do a base. Plus, it was a little dark for this, so we won't use a whole lot of it. We will use some, but definitely the Dawnstone Gray and the Administratum Gray, and you're going to need a blue wash. I have Asterman Blue Wash. Just get the new blue wash, whatever it is. And you're also going to need Uthuan Gray, which is a new Citadel paint. And you're going to need white, a white of choice. I don't care what white you use. Scar white, skull white, whatever, white. And that's mostly what you're going to need. You're also going to need some accent colors like reds. And we'll get to that later on, but because those aren't important. So for now, you're going to need to get yourself those grays lined up for this project to start. Jawa Gray, Gray Knights. More to come. Okay, welcome to my How to Paint Gray Knights portion of the Bone and Gray video. All right. So standard procedure here is going to be a lot of the same feathering techniques that I use in all my other videos. And this time, we're going to be working on top of this model, which I had painted Army Painter, Army Painter Uniform Gray. And we're going to be adding on top of that now successive layers of gray, starting with Dawnstone Gray, Codex Gray, and its translation is Dawnstone Gray in the new colors. So now what you're going to do with this, and a successive series of washes with Asterman Blue. Get a little bit on the tip of your brush, once again, pointing at the edge, and just dragging it down the edge, and then feathering it in. It's okay if it's not perfect to begin with, because we're going to do a lot of layers with this. This is the master class edition of this technique. So I'm painting you a model that I would try and use for competition. So I don't paint it on, I just kind of drag it on. And I allow the edges to grab hold of it. I have a good feeling about this model. Sometimes when you're painting, you just get that feeling. And this one I think is going to look pretty nice. On the chest part of the armor plate, I will do a highlight at the top here, right below the word, and then kind of feather it down so it gets lighter here and darker down here. Excuse me. The secret here is thin paint. So don't be tempted. Don't give in to that temptation to throw too much paint in there all at once and try and get total coverage. You know what I'm going to try and do? Since this is a master class, I can't paint him with his arm in the way. So I ripped his arm off. Oh, that's better. I can actually see what I'm doing now. I got some paint into that little crevice. I'm going to try and dig it out. Yeah. I'll fix it with a wash. I'll try and just erase. Yeah, I got it. I erased it all. So I usually will do the first coat of gray, and then I'll paint in black on some of the crevices and stuff. I usually wait until after that first coat of gray because if I'm gonna really make mistakes with the gray, that's usually where it's gonna happen because I'm trying to figure out where the gray has to go. Still, after this first coat, it's a whole lot easier because then you're just lightening the work you've done with this first layer. A little bit too much paint. So do you see what I did at the top of the leg here? I just kind of painted across the top edge. Now I'm just kind of feathering my brush down and letting some of that gray come on down. I'm not trying to get the whole thing at once. I'm just trying to create like a little feathered effect, a little blending fade. Oh, I got paint into that little thing. God. Made a mess there. My hands are sore. I've been painting a lot the last few days. I promised the world in this DVD set, and now I gotta make that promise come through. All right, well, I think that you can get a sense of where I'm going with this first stage. I'm going to work on some of this in a comfortable position where I can actually work with my hand and get most of it done. Then I'll come back and show you. Okay, back in a few.